For most of his working life, this has been Daryl Fell's world, the fire station, putting his life on the line almost every day.
As a firefighter, some of the stuff we'd experience is pretty life-threatening, but basically because it's our job and that's the career you decide to take, and you just go do it and trust yourself, and it works out for you. You get into a smoke-filled building and it's burning, it's fairly hot, and you get disorientated and you can't see past the end of your nose. The smoke is so heavy, so you can get stuck in a situation that can be fairly scary.
Daryl had more than his share of scary situations on the job, but nothing compared to what happened to him in 1983 at the age of 29. And it wasn't in a burning building, it was in a doctor's examination office.
I started to notice I had a breathing problem. My chest started to tighten up, I couldn't breathe very well, and I thought maybe I had an allergy or something was wrong, and I just basically denied the fact that I was getting sick.
The diagnosis was much more serious than an allergy, and the prognosis was about the worst it could be.
He said, I have the worst news for you. You're diagnosed with cancer. You have a 5.5-inch tumor in your chest. If we don't remove that by Thursday, there's a good possibility you'll be dead before the weekend. And that was on a Tuesday morning. You just feel totally lost. You feel like you're not even in your body. It was the fear factor that took over.
Daryl's biggest fear had been realized. His father-in-law had been diagnosed with cancer a few years earlier. At the urging of his family, Daryl admitted himself to the Cancer Control Agency and was told that his only hope was immediate surgery and a 6-month program of chemotherapy and radiation. And that time was at a premium.
I said to them, I'd like to think about it for a couple days. And they said, you don't have a couple days to think about it, you have to do it right away. And I said, no, I'm in charge of my own life. I've created this problem and I have to get rid of it. I phoned them Monday morning and basically said that I wasn't coming through with their treatment. I got a call back from the pathologist saying that I was committing social suicide. I was giving up all hope and going to try to do something on myself that would never work.
Discouraging words, but not for Daryl Fell. In fact, the more he was told that what he was doing would never work, the more determined he was to prove everyone wrong. He decided to start at square one.
I had to clean my body up the best I could and as fast as I could. And I was under the belief that once you start to clean up, you start getting stronger. You don't have to clean up in a week or a month, but you can take some time. And once you reverse the process, your body will fight back. It's a natural healer. So my number one thing was basically changing my whole diet, getting into a macrobiotic style diet, which is grains, beans, vegetables, nuts, seeds, seaweeds, things like that that help build the body as opposed to break it down. Animal foods are very hard on the body, alcohol, smoking, things like that, which I didn't smoke anyways. I eliminated anything, caffeine, anything that I thought was a stimulant, sugar, oils, things that I eliminated, all the things I thought would be hard on my system. It's very overwhelming, the amount of stuff that I did, but you have to understand that didn't happen in one day.
In his search for alternatives, Daryl turned his sights to the east, to traditional Chinese medicine and the philosophy of qi, that health and wholeness is reflected in the healing energy that flows through the body along meridians or pathways, bringing balance to the mind, body, and spirit.
Acupuncture is a type of therapy goes through your body energy field to produce the better balance in terms of energy circulation. So you apply acupuncture needles on certain acupoint. You go through different meridian lines to direct your energy flow, either remove the excess energy or tonify the deficiency part of energy flow. So in order to achieve the energy balance, to boosting your body healing power to regenerate, this is how acupuncture can help certain illness.
And the only way I can sort of explain that is if you have a car and you're running on 7 cylinders, it doesn't run very good. Even though it's running on 7 cylinders, it doesn't go up hills very good and it doesn't run very efficiently. So I did a lot of acupuncture, which helped get my body back on track, strengthening some of the organs that were maybe a little bit weak at the time.
Seeking out alternatives became a full-time job, and Daryl almost tried them all. Shiatsu Massage, very similar to acupuncture, but using the hand to stimulate the body's pressure points. Daryl's search also took him to Vancouver's Chinatown, where he found a Chinese herbalist.
He was phenomenal. The guy was a very, very knowledgeable man. Spent his whole life understanding the human body, how it operates, and what kind of herbs will strengthen the body and build it and cleanse it.
Daryl also discovered a form of light exercise called rebounding, designed to stimulate the fluids in the body.
Biggest thing is when people get sick, they lay around and their bodies don't, the muscle movement doesn't move the fluids around. So a rebounder is a very light exercise that'll help move the fluids in your body that aren't affiliated with the pump, especially the lymphatic system, which is basically geared for the cleansing and helping to fight off disease. 15, 20 minutes twice a day. And that gets everything stimulated. It's like going for a 5-mile walk. It gets the body going and clears the mind. Got into things like, small things like skin brushing. I did Epsom salt scrubs. I got into things like saunas and steam baths and get really, really sweaty, hot, help eliminate some of the toxins, and then cold showers to tighten up the body. I did those kind of therapies on a regular basis.
Daryl discovered mind and body work together as a complete unit, each influencing the other. In addition to quiet walks, Daryl turned to meditation and visualization.
I tighten up my lifestyle. I get on my rebounder, I'll do a few exercises, I'll do a little meditation, I'll do some positive thinking, I'll change my diet, I'll go get some acupuncture, I'll go see a herbalist and find out why my body's doing what it's doing. And I can usually change it in a couple of days. I'm right back to where I was, strong and healthy again.
Thinking positively was important to Daryl, especially in dealing with his own self-doubts.
You still, in the back of your mind, have that little bit of fear. Am I doing the right thing? Inside, I knew I was, but you still have that little bit of doubt. My family got behind me 100%. The first few weeks, it was a little tough for them because they were afraid. They had a lot of fear in them, thinking that what I was doing might not work. So at first, I had to convince my family that what I was going to do was going to work. I'm a fairly strong individual and pretty strong personality, and I basically assured them that that wasn't going to happen. I said, there's no way that's going to beat me. I said, I'm going to beat it. And I said, you just got to be strong and we'll get through this. And they had to trust me at that point.
In spite of what was going on the outside, Daryl knew something was happening to him inside, something very positive.
I knew I was getting better inside. I wasn't sure if I was cured, but I knew I was getting better. I believed it and I knew it.
8 months after his initial diagnosis, Daryl felt well enough to resume his duties as a firefighter, but his employers wanted him to return to the Cancer Control Agency for more tests. The cancer specialists who tested him couldn't believe his luck. The tumor was gone. Daryl knew that luck had nothing to do with it.
It's like you went through a door and you got to come back through it. We all abuse ourselves, whether it's through drinking or diet or whatever we do, or breathing bad quality air, or drinking bad water, whatever the case may be. You have to go through it to come back, and I came back through that door. I believe that if you want to live, you can, and there's all kinds of alternatives that you can make yourself a better person. But you have to start somewhere and believe in yourself and start changing your whole life. Whether you're using Western medicine or using alternatives, you have to believe in what you're doing, and the biggest thing is the mind. And if you can get your mind to be on side with you and work with you, then anything's possible.
Coming up, dealing with depression, Prozac-free prescriptions that come naturally. But first, reflexology and the healing power of the feet, next on Beyond Medicine.